Yousef, we've all been hearing about the potential for a ceasefire for months, and yet the killing continues. Hamas have issued a statement saying that Israel keep inserting fresh clauses, fresh conditions into any ceasefire deal just when it appears to be close, which would give us the impression that Netanyahu and his negotiators are not acting in good faith and simply want the killing to continue, as he indicated in that absolutely dreadful spectacle in Congress last week.
Yes, well, Netanyahu is a thug. He doesn't act as a diplomat. He is in favor of prolonging this genocidal war because he wanted to crush the steadfastness and resilience of the Palestinian people as a whole, not only the resistance in Gaza. The 7th of October was a pretext to carry out this ethnic cleansing in order to change the demography of Gaza. And obviously Israel, the West, they consider Palestinian blood as cheap. We are numbers in their eyes. Unfortunately, the West is allowing this impunity to happen. Israel has never been held accountable. And it seems that Netanyahu doesn't want to leave the political scene without achieving an illusional victory. He claims that his genocidal war in Gaza aims to bring back the hostages, but he doesn't care about the hostages. He keeps adding more conditions to the deal mediated by Qatar, by other factors in the region, and even the United States. They say Netanyahu is disinterested in reaching a peace deal. What I would like to say is that Israel is bragging by saying that all Palestinians in Gaza, they don't deserve to have a normal life because they elected Hamas. It seems that he is embarrassed because he did not achieve any of his stated goals. And it seems to me that he will continue this genocidal war in Gaza in order to stay in power. Israel is causing death and destruction in Gaza only for fun. Just as we speak right now, Israel struck Beirut, the Lebanese capital. And it shows that Israel doesn't care about the repercussions and the reactions of the resistance, Hezbollah resistance in Lebanon. Because I think he's been given the green light. He's given the weapons. Because during his speech in the Congress, he said, give us the tools and we will finish the job quickly. Unfortunately, the world is watching the Palestinians of Gaza being slaughtered for the past 10 months. And they do not change anything. Gaza has been under cruel siege for the past 18 years. Israel wanted this opportunity in order to test its new weapons in Gaza. In short, if you ask me how I feel about that, of course I'm outraged. As a Palestinian, my family in Gaza, they survived 300 days miraculously this genocidal war, but they are being starved to death. There is international conspiracy of silence, and the double standard policy and the hypocrisy encourages Israel to continue this war. And Netanyahu, he will be remembered as the most evil fascist in our modern time. When they are asked that Israel is killing civilians, they say, well, this is the cost of war. Palestinians are collateral damage. And when we talk about the proportionalities, what's the number? I think Israel wants to kill 1,000 Palestinians for each Israeli who was killed during the 7th of October. Actually, so many people say, tend to the fact that it was an inside job, meaning that Israel knew about it, but it didn't happen in order to justify its attack on Gaza. Why didn't it protect itself or defend itself when it knew about that attack, and it delayed its engagement with the Palestinian resistance groups for several hours? I don't think Israel will allow Hamas to stay in power. That's why they are delaying and postponing the deal, because they are looking for an alternative party that is willing to rule Gaza. International forces, I don't think so. Maybe the Palestinian Authority forces, we still don't know. The end game here, what's next? What will happen when Israel ends its genocidal war? Gaza is still under Israeli control, under Israeli siege. Anything goes into Gaza or leaves Gaza has to be approved by the Israeli authorities. because they still brag and say that, well, we withdrew our forces back in September 2005. But as a matter of fact, Israel is still the occupying power, still imposes its naval blockade along Gaza's 45 kilometers, still controls the airspace of Gaza, still controls the resources of Gaza. Gaza is still practically under colonization. So any deal, I think it will be fragile. I don't think it will last for long. As long as there is no permanent solutions to the problems in Gaza, the siege, the occupation, then we will continue to see the cycle of violence keeps happening again and again. Because remember, it wasn't about the 7th of October. Palestinians have been suffering ever since 1948 for the past 76 years. And Israel wants the world to believe that it's the Palestinians who are the aggressors and the victimizers, whereas Palestinians are the victims. This is the root cause of the issue. Palestinians are demanding for their freedom. They are not demanding to go back to before the 7th of October. After all these sacrifices, I don't think the Palestinian side, I mean the resistance, they will just accept any conditions. There must be a permanent lifting of the siege and opening to all border crossings and to allow Gaza to go back to normality. And also, I mean, any steps has to be taken. It should contribute towards a lasting settlement to this conflict and end to the Israeli occupation, not only in Gaza, the West Bank, East Jerusalem as well. The Palestinians of Gaza, they say that they are let down. They feel that they are frustrated and angry that the whole world is watching them being massacred day and night for the past almost 300 days. It's going to be almost a year. Can you imagine, like, for a whole year, Palestinians did not
I remember reporting on it in the early weeks when the number of dead was 3,000, 4,000, when people were being driven from the north out of Gaza City. You've got to get out of Gaza City. This was a stronghold. Move south. The south will be safe, so-called safe zones. Then they cut the territory in half. Who can forget that first bomb on a hospital? Pardon?
They know that they will not be held accountable. That's why, and also it's because of the hypocrisy and complicity of some of the Arab governments in the region, unfortunately. I mean, Gaza border is shut down from the Egyptian side, and you have, I mean, it's like normal life, across the Arab world. As I said, non-Jewish, non-Muslim blood is cheap. I mean, what my family tells me, what people tells me is that they said that they will never forget the world, the Muslims, the Arabs in the region, that they are being butchered, massacred, starved to death, torn to pieces. Israel's beheading Palestinian babies and children as a result of the loud explosions and blasts. I mean, the destruction of schools, universities, mosques, churches, civil life. Is this really an excuse for self-defense? What this has to do with self-defense? And the scenes of Nakba, the displacement and the refugees and the panic and the shootings and the sniper soldiers in their 20s, they just, kill at will just for fun. You are doing good journalism. I would like to salute you for this, for bringing the real issues here. Because once I was interviewed by one of the UK shows, talk radio show by Dumb and Dumber, and they kept asking me, do you condemn Hamas? What do you think of the 7th of October? As if my answer is going to bring back to life the 40,000 Palestinians killed. As if my answer, if I yes or no, is going to bring back to bring Gaza back to normality. The real issue here is that Israel enjoys this impunity. It keeps humiliating Palestinians. It doesn't see Palestinians as humans. I mean, when they describe us as human animals and describe Palestinian children as children of darkness, then what do you expect? I mean, the evil mentality, the settlers in the West Bank, when they torch Palestinian olive groves, when they attack shepherds, when they just occupy Palestinian houses, they are given these arms by Ben Gvir, who is arming the settlers. So the suffering of Palestinians does not only happen in Gaza, but also across the West Bank and East Jerusalem. And Israel's intention is to drive Palestinians out of the land because it wants a pure Jewish state. It angers Israel to see Palestinians are growing by numbers, because before this genocidal war, they used to say Gaza is a ticking bomb. Gaza is the most densely populated area on the planet. So it posed some threat to Israel. So they are making life miserable by destroying the civil infrastructure in case there is a chance for people to Gaza to flee via the sea, via Egypt. then yes, it's going to happen. Thousands of people will flee Gaza, but some people will not, heed the call and leave Gaza because they say, we would rather die in Gaza. So Israel is going to fail miserably because at the end of the day, when you have the owners of the land, the indigenous Palestinians, they say, this is our land. We are not going away. We are not going to vanish. Yeah, as long as there is no pressure on Israel, it will never relinquish its occupation. It will never end its occupation. And Netanyahu said many times that he will not allow the establishment of a Palestinian sovereign state, not even a viable state. I mean, the two-state solution was born dead a long time ago. If the EU, they are not able to pressure Israel to end this genocidal war that kills innocent civilians, are they really going to be able to pressure Israel to end its prolonged occupation?
Oh, that's a very good point.
End arms embargo. They have to put serious pressure. Israel is collectively punishing an entire population because of the acts of Hamas, of the resistance. Why on earth would Israel, destroy civil life, destruction of houses, universities, mosques, as I said, hospitals, water wells, electricity grids? Everything is being destroyed in Gaza. Is this for self-defense? I mean, when you collectively punish an entire population and orphan over 20,000 kids, do you think these kids, when they grow up, they will just forget what Israel did to them? I mean, Israel is shooting itself in the head, not in the foot.